All right, we are live. All right, everybody, welcome to our monthly Team Persevere team call. And I am your host, Liz Bellini, and I have been a coach for almost 6 years. I'll celebrate my 6-year anniversary next month. I know that we've had quite a few new coaches that have joined the team. So whether you're going to be listening to this live or tuning into the recording, I want to welcome you to this amazing team. And we usually have a team call once a month. It's usually the third or fourth Wednesday of each month. So you can put that on your calendar and plan to tune in with all of these calls. We usually give tips from either myself or other top coaches on the team so that you can take and apply to your own business as well. So with every team call, I like to give recognition where recognition is due. So far in the month of March, I'm going to start with our volume exploders. We are about almost three full weeks into March. These volume points are from just this current past week. So leading the pack this month so far with volume points is Heather Stetson. She has 750 on the board. Coming in second is Chelsea Placer with 550 volume points. Coming in third is Liz Lambert at 248, and a close second right behind her is Jerry Isaacs. So congratulations to those coaches who are earning volume points. Volume points usually means any kind of sales that you're making as a coach. That can be Shakeology, challenge packs, performance line, vitamins, fitness equipment, anything that anybody purchases from you and your Beachbody links, that is considered volume. Secondly, I want to recognize those who are on the Success Club board. So Success Club is just a way that us coaches measure our progress from month to month. The goal for each month is to hit at least Success Club 5. And the way that we earn Success Club points is through challenge pack sales, which are usually at 2 points per challenge pack. And now you can earn 2 points also with any Shakeology on home direct order. So that is how we are earning Success Club points. And in order for you to hit Success Club in the month, ideally it is that you are helping at least 3 new people either getting set up with a challenge pack or Shakeology on home direct. So that will get you at least 6 Success Club points, putting you in Success Club for the month. So far in the month of March, we have at 2 points on the board so far in the month of March. We have Jessica Conley, Jennifer LaGrew, Andrea Coleman, Araceli Gonzalez, Erica Ocho, Elizabeth Lambert, Liz Lambert, it says Elizabeth here, Crystal Norris, Julie McCauley, Robin Alexander, Eric Spears at 2 points. At 4 points, we have Chelsea Placer and Tina Dick. And coming in over the Success Club line so far in the month of March, we have Josh Lambert at 6. We have Jennifer Cupcho at 8. Jerry Isaac also at 8. Heather Stetson at 16. And I personally have 18 points on the board. So awesome job so far this month, you guys. We have a whole week. We have the rest of this week and all of next week to hit Success Club. We have amazing challenge pack promotions. So be sure to definitely tune people in to, of course, our all access challenge pack. That seems to be the best deal so far. A few reminders and updates that I want to give you guys as we head into April. So one thing that you want to have on your calendars is Super Saturday. So Super Saturday is April 8th. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to have Super Saturday. Now, a big reminder is usually we have 4 Super Saturdays throughout the calendar year. This year in 2017, we're only having 3. So after the April 8th Super Saturday, the next one isn't going to be until September. So that's a huge break. In between there, we are going to have Summit. So we're going to have a lot of updates with Summit. We're just not going to have a Super Saturday like we normally do after the Summit event. But I can tell you that being a part of the Cleveland Market Council, I was on a call with corporate yesterday, and I was informed that there's some pretty big news that is going to be released at the April Super Saturday. And and I don't know. Sometimes they make up hypes and they live up to their expectations, and sometimes they don't. But this one sounds big. So I'm curious to know what that update is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be about Beachbody On Demand. I don't know if it's going to be about the new market that they're going to open up. I have a feeling that maybe it might be. I've gotten mixed reviews on what that market will be. I've heard Mexico. I've heard the United Kingdom. I'm crossing my fingers for the United Kingdom. But whatever it is, it's going to be big. And Carl Deichler, I seen posted on his Facebook page that it's going to be can be life-changing for how us coaches build our business. So I'm curious to know what that's about. And I'm 100% certain that they're going to be releasing that at Super Saturday, April 8th. So you want to be the first to know about that information. So get to a Super Saturday, and you can find out where our Super Saturdays are if you just go ahead and log into your online office, and under the news and training, I believe it is, under events. So once you click on events, you can just search your state and you will see all of the Super Saturdays being hosted in your area. So if you've never been to a Super Saturday, I encourage you to go, step out of your comfort zone and experience one. There's nothing quite like being at a live event and being in the same room with inspiring coaches who have the mindset that you do. So you have an opportunity to do that in the next couple of weeks. April 8th. Keep that in mind, because the next one is not going to be until September. So a heads up on that. Other than that, I don't think I have any other announcements for the team, but I wanted to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. Our guest speaker is going to be Josh Lambert. He's a diamond coach on Team Persevere, and I believe that he's been a coach just about a year, I believe. Yeah. And he has done some research on his end. Josh is a part of our Team Persevere leader group. We have a group of coaches on Team Persevere who have been elevated to leader status, and that just means that they're helping people with their health and fitness, getting them aligned consistently with challenge packs. They're growing their business. They're making income. They're helping other people get set up with their businesses. And they're just a true leader with consistency and a desire to make this happen with their coaching business. So I have asked Josh to come onto our team call for the month of March and share some mentorship that he had received from one of the top coaches in the network, Jamie Fitzpatrick. And he's going to talk about the topic of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I'm assuming he's going to talk about getting outside of some fears. So with that said, Josh, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hey, Liz. Thanks for that introduction. That was very nice. I'm going to try and share my screen here. Let's see if I can do that without screwing something up. Should be pretty easy. Let's, here we go. Give that a whirl. Okay, are you guys seeing stuff? Yes? Good. Okay, so thanks again, Liz. And if you don't know me, of course, my name is Josh Lambert. I've been a coach since late February of last year, so actually a little more than a year. I'll give you a little bit of background just about myself. So I started back in February of last year. I got started simply because, well, the way everybody else does, right? I was overweight. I was unhappy. I was doing the yo-yo diets. I actually was in Beachbody for a little while, and then I didn't really have anybody on a team or anything like that. So I drank Shakeology for a while. And then one day, Mandy Miller, who was my upline coach, contacted me. She's like, "Hey, Josh, would you like to get your Shakeology for a discount?" I said, "Of course," right? So she talked to me, and then she introduced to me the coaching opportunity. And then I had a conversation with my wife, and I was like, "Liz, do you think I should do this?" And I really left it in her hands. And I didn't expect her to say yes, but she's like, "Yes, absolutely, you should do this." I said, "Okay, great. Let's give it a whirl." So it's been a wonderful year. I tell a lot of people that I run into, or just daily conversations, if we're in that kind of conversation, that 2016 was one of the best years, of my life. We took care of our fitness. The financial piece has really helped out. With coaching, we were able to pay for all of our, Christmas presents with Beachbody money. It was just a wonderful year, and so far 2017 is looking even better. So I'm really excited. So that's why I became a coach. And why do I continue to do it now? It's more than just the financial piece. It's really a great feeling when you can reach out and connect with someone and make a significant difference in their life. Okay, it's a really wonderful emotional feeling, and that's why I do what I do. And if you've seen the presentation there, it says AN. That is my team. I am founder of Adrenaline Nation. That is my team name. I've gone back and forth on the name, but the reason it stuck with me is because that's how I feel about a lot of things. You know, Liz Bellini knows that my favorite program is Insanity Max 30. I love that high octane stuff. And it's, you know, I've gone skydiving, I've gone whitewater rafting, and that's just what I live by. And, you know, whether or not coaches on my team agree with it or not, I couldn't change it, because then I wouldn't be being true to what I was. You know, I did not want to change that. So I stuck with it, and now I'm embracing it, and I love it. So, little segue into what happened with Jamie. So after Liz asked us each to maybe speak or host one of these team calls, it's like, well, who do I want to talk to? And I really wanted to talk to Chris Lambert. And the reason is, you know, I got to see Chris talk at a Super Saturday. Very inspiring story. You know, he went through a lot. He was on the infomercial with Tony in 22-minute hardcore. I'm like, this is perfect. I also wanted to reach out to a guy, because as we know, Beachbody, whether you admit it or not, is dominated by women. You know, 95% of them are probably women. And that's okay. But I wanted to get another guy's perspective on the coaching thing. So I wanted to reach out to Chris. But the reason I didn't is because he was expecting a baby real soon, you know, and I think the baby's just a couple days old now. And it's like, I don't want to bog this guy down with, you know, trying to call him. And I just said, that's okay. So then I remembered that Jamie Fitzpatrick had done a national wake-up call. And this is great, because this goes right into being comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? So, I mean, I'm just a coach, you know, I don't have a huge team yet, and this guy is number 6 in the entire company. Am I really going to approach him and talk to him, get him on the phone? I said, to hell with it. Yes, I am. So I messaged him one day and didn't know if he would respond, but I saw he was active, because I follow his page. I saw he was active on Messenger, so I just sent him a message, say, hey, Jamie, I'm about to do a team call as a guest speaker, and I would love to get some of your feedback on what's like being a male coach, you know, dominated or female-dominated company. And he said, yeah, sure, absolutely. But the thing was, he still has a full-time job. So he was traveling, and he says, hey, I got about 20 minutes on this day. Can you make that? I said, absolutely. You know, if you want to talk at 2 in the morning, I'll talk to you at 2 in the morning. Whatever time you want to talk, I'll make it happen. So we moved right once the call, you know, was made. We talked a little bit, and so I said we only had 20 minutes, right? So I couldn't pick his brain a whole lot, but I got a lot of information about him. Now, looking back, I probably should have done a little bit more on his bio and all that, because I spent some time talking to him about, you know, how he got into Beachbody, which is stuff I probably could have found anywhere. But anyway, he grew up in British Columbia, signed on as a coach in early 2015. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's early 2017. This guy completely just crushed Beachbody in like 18 months, right? So like one of his first months, he hit SC 59, right? He had 59 Success Club points. Now and as you see here in the presentation, he got started, or the way he got started, well, he and his wife were drinking Shakeology for about 3 years before they even got started. And one thing he made a point to tell me was nobody ever approached him about being a coach. Nobody. So he got on Google one day and looked up top coaches in Canada. And sure enough, a coach named Miguel, I don't remember his last name, was there. And Jamie messaged him. He's like, hey, I really want to be a coach. I'd like to get into this. Can you help me? Well, you know, the rest is history. 18 months later, the guy is ranked number 6 in the company, the top male coach in the entire company. And he's still full-time employed. That's really incredible to me. You know, how do you balance that full-time work, you know, and a family and children and all that, and still do this? And he said, it's a lot of sacrifice. You know, he wasn't going to beat around the bush. He gave up a lot of stuff he really enjoyed, but it's all about priorities, right? What do you really want to do? He didn't sacrifice stuff with his kids and his family, of course, but things that he really liked to do, he gave up. He was big into fantasy baseball and fantasy hockey and all that good stuff. He gave that up. And recently his wife just, you know, she would drive an hour and a half a day to work and then an hour and a half back. And she just left the company because they were finally in a position where they thought, you know, they could replace all their income with Beachbody income. So that was great. So as you see, it only took him 18 months to achieve, and that is really, really incredible. He does say, and this isn't a caveat, and this isn't like a cheat for him, but the guy's 42 years old. You know, he has been around longer than all of us, so he has a bigger network. And with the job that he's in with sales, he just had a large network in the beginning, and he was able to talk to people left and right. He didn't really call it an advantage. I don't think so either. That's just his situation, his opportunity, and he was able to use it. So I was like, that's wonderful. But he said, yeah, so I'm 42. I just have a bigger network. It's like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so then we got to talking more about, Beachbody coaching, all that. And then he just gave me some great information. And he's a real big belief guy, right? So life and success are all about your belief and your confidence, and which really resonates with me. I think that's key as well. There's so many things that I can kind of BS my way through just because I look like I'm confident in it. And that's something that I think is a good trait to have, because I like to think that I'm an expert in everything, but there's no way that's even true, right? So you got to try to get your way through it by looking confident. One of his favorite quotes is, competence builds confidence. So basically, research the thing that you want to be an expert in, get good at it, right? Be confident in what you're talking about. And once you do gain that confidence, just in general, it exudes in all aspects of life. At work, when I go to work and I have to give a presentation, I'm usually terrified, right? My palms are sweaty and I stumble over my words, but I try to show that I'm actually confident and I know what I'm talking about. And I like to think I give, decent presentations. He also does say that confidence is a learned trait. He doesn't believe that people are born with it. He thinks that it's something that you learn. And since you do learn it, you can build on it. You can become more and more confident as you become more and more competent in the particular subject that you're talking about. And another thing he likes to discuss is that we are all capable of having or doing anything that we want in life, right? Everybody's capable of doing it. It's just, what are you willing to do to get it? If you want it that bad, then just go freaking get it, right? And that's a great message, because people come up with excuses all the time on why they can't do something, but you rarely hear anything on why they could do it, right? So just get those roadblocks out of your mind, and you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. Personal development to him was just way up there with inviting. It's like his number 2 priority. Inviting, of course, is always a number 1 priority, but personal development, he says, if you're not doing personal development, your business is going to just stagnate. There's so many things to learn out there. You like to think that confidence is just one of them. There's so many traits that you can acquire through personal development. It really is an important aspect of what we do. Okay, and fear. This one is a big one, right? This goes in with being comfortable and being uncomfortable. But when I think of fear, and I think this is a good example for me, the first time I was terrified was reaching out to somebody in my cold market, right? When I first started Beachbody coaching, my warm market was great. I had no problems talking to people that I knew. If they told me no big deal. I wasn't going to lose a friend. I wasn't going to lose a family member. I could just move right on. And you think it'd be a little bit different with most people, because I don't want to offend my friend and have them leave me. I have close enough friends where if they say no, it's not a big deal. I've had friends say, it's just not for me. Okay, no problem. I at least, gave them the opportunity and I can move on. We're still great friends. But oh my gosh, that first time I had to send an invite out to a cold recruit, basically, I wrote up the whole script, right? I've got this thing ready to go in my Facebook Messenger. And it's one of those where I'm staring at my mouse. Like, all I have to do is click that mouse. Just click send and you'll be fine. Just do it. And I get up and I pace around and I'm sweating. I don't even know this person, right? Or even if it's just to start off a conversation, I don't know you. Nothing bad is going to happen if the conversation goes awry. This is the worst. So if I'm a guy, obviously, talking to women is more difficult for me than it is women to talk to women. I have to approach them differently. I can't just say, hey, you look like you need to be working out. Oh my gosh, that's a disaster waiting to happen, right? So I need to be cautious on how I approach women. And where was I going with that? Oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought, and it was a good one. So talking to women is tough. Oh yeah, so the whole how are they going to feel? If I talk to a woman and they feel offended, okay, I apologize. I probably I know I didn't do that on purpose, but that wasn't my intent. I just approached it wrong. But if that person's offended, it's okay. They're going to get over it. It's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to have some incurable disease, right? People always get all up in arms on being offended. You're going to be okay, right? So that first time I had to send that cold message, I was terrified, and I just finally clicked it, and I ran away and came back and see, did he respond yet? Did he respond yet? And eventually, of course, it all worked out fine, right? So fear got in the way when there's really nothing to be afraid of. If the guy says no or doesn't want to talk, he'll tell me that, and we'll be very professional about it, and that's just the way it is. But for me, and I don't know if it's the same for other coaches, but that inviting part is always the scariest. It always is the scariest. Like, I could get on Facebook and show you a workout video, no problem. I'll just go make a fool of myself. That doesn't scare me at all. But for some reason, the anxiety, the fear of talking to a new person can just be crippling. And that's when personal development comes into play, right? You get more confident in what you're able to do. And man, I love personal development. That's one thing I love about Beachbody. I was never into personal development. Didn't even know about it until Beachbody came along. And they're all like, personal development. Like, what? So I started reading those books. You get into GoPro, from Eric Worre, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I read some more, and then I find John Maxwell. I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so eye-opening. It's wonderful. I'm telling people who aren't even in Beachbody. I was at a senior management meeting at work, and I suggested, for people that are having a rough time at work, I'm like, let's just buy some personal development books and just have them available to people. Just get some short ones. Let's read these things. Have these people read these. It just makes you feel so good. There are still books out there that I read, and I get goosebumps. And I do the same thing with YouTube videos. You go onto YouTube and you can subscribe to an inspirational channel, and every day they'll tell you when they put a new one in there. And just today, I'm sitting at work, I'm on a break, I'm like, I'm going to watch one real quick, and I get goosebumps. I get chills because it's so great. I'm like, these are things that I can do. I love being motivated. I love having that adrenaline rush, hence the name Adrenaline Nation, right? I love that stuff. So anyway, that fear, I think was an important thing to talk about here. And anyway, so I could go on about that forever, but I'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so back to Jamie. He said, coaching is for everyone, and for everyone, you can be successful with it. You just have to be good at telling your story, and that is it's validated almost by Gary Vee. It is validated, right? I saw a video once where Gary said, don't go out there and recreate the wheel, just document your journey, because everyone's journey is unique. Tell your story, because people love challenges. People love to read about challenges. And no one's perfect, and people want to know about your imperfections, right? So definitely tell your story. And that is something I have been guilty about not doing. Like I said, I like to go on on Facebook, and I could show my videos all day long, but I never actually tell about my story, why I'm doing what I'm doing. Or I wonder how many people on my Facebook feed don't even know that I'm actually a coach. They'll see these videos and they might just think that, hey, this guy's just working on, he likes to show it on Facebook. So that's something that Jamie said is very important. Tell your story. And he also says, put that coaching opportunity, like, beat people to death with it. Some people may not agree with that, but he just overloads on the coaching opportunity. He's always putting it in Facebook because, and everybody knows this, you may not get someone in the first time, the second time, the 10th time, but people are watching. And I get this a lot, actually. People are watching my stuff. They're just not liking or commenting on it, but they are actually watching. And that's really cool to know, right? Talking to your friends or people. I just ran into a guy I hadn't seen in 15 years up in Sandusky last weekend when I was out with a couple friends. He's like, yeah, man, I've been watching your videos and all that, and I've lost 28 pounds recently. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's never liked a video, never commented on a video, but he's watching everything that I'm doing, and he was inspired enough to go start losing weight. That's what it's all about, right? It makes you feel so good. Like, he's not a customer of mine, but I love that I was able to inspire that individual to go do something. So tell your story, talk about the challenges you've overcome, talk about your imperfections, and people eat that stuff up. They want to see it. When we started talking about leadership, this was a really great conversation. He says, be the star of your life. Be your CEO. You are the CEO of your business. You should act like it. And be that star, be the person that everybody comes to, for advice. And then he made this interesting comment that I wasn't really ready for. He says, it is okay to follow top coaches on Facebook, but don't share their stuff. That's just a technical thing, really. If you share their stuff, it just opens that person up to, like, all of your friends, right? And they're going to see that, oh, wait, this guy is like a top 10 coach. I'm going to go to him instead of going to Josh, even though Josh is the one that shared that, right? So take that information, whatever's on that top coach's post, copy it and paste it into yours. Making sure it's your content. Switch it up, of course, make it a little bit more personal. He says, don't share the top coach posts, because it's just it's not a good idea because people are going to see those top coaches and look past you. It's like, that's a really, really good point I didn't think about. And he went back into his beliefs, you know, where if you believe in coaches long enough, then they start to believe in themselves. And that's really how your coaches on your team are going to start to blossom, is when they start to have confidence in themselves, then they're going to start to grow. And that's absolutely true. I think it's true with me. It's definitely true with my wife. You know, she has grown so much in the last year, and it is awesome to watch. She used to be, you know, kind of sheltered and all that, but she is out there. I mean, you guys have seen pictures of her on Facebook. I mean, she is just tearing it up. She posts every single day, does what she's supposed to do, and it's wonderful to see. You know, couldn't be more proud of her than what she's done. It really is awesome. So being uncomfortable. So some of this information, so that kind of wrapped up the call with Jamie. I really wanted I could have talked to the guy for 2 hours, right? We're just two guys talking about Beachbody stuff. It was great. But then to be truthful, you know, when Liz talked to me on Monday, Liz Bellini talked to me on Monday, it's like, hey, so what's your topic going to be for this call on Wednesday? I was like, I'm not real sure, but this is the one that I wanted to talk about. It is the being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So let's talk about that. So I wasn't able to pick Jamie's brain about that, even though I found other videos of him online and I can pull some information from it. But anyway, I saw this great video about being uncomfortable. And this guy says that there is a universal rejection truth. You know, with friends, that universal rejection truth is I may run into people that may not like me. You, with sales, I'm going to run into people that don't want to buy my stuff. With relationships, there's going to be people that like me, and then there's going to be people that are like, I don't want to get any closer to that guy than I have to, right? And then how you respond to that is basically you're going to face it or you're going to fight it. And those people that fight it are the people that, you know, run from it, hide from it, blame other people. And then the people that face it are the ones who accept being uncomfortable, and they grow from that, right? And those people that do face it have resources available. They have people that they're comfortable talking to. They have places that they can go to kind of, you know, settle down and get back into the right mindset. And they have patience with getting things done. There's this great story that this individual had told about these two women who were at college. One was an ultra conservative and one was a liberal. And one night, the liberal lady came home with a guy. And so the conservative lady is on the bottom bunk, and the other girl takes this guy up into their bed for some entertainment, he'd like to call it. And the conservative girl was really, really uncomfortable with this, right? She'd never been exposed to it. So what'd she do? She calls her mom, gets on the phone with mom. She's like, Mom, there's this guy up in the bed above me with my roommate. You know, I don't know what to do. And 3 hours later, her mom shows up to the RA's office and says, there is a girl and a guy in my daughter's room. I don't want her in there. And the long story short, the solution was they took that conservative girl out of that room and put her in her own room. And what a shame that was, because instead of facing that uncomfortableness where you just, you know, you try to go to sleep if you can, they took her out of that room, put her in her own room, and now she's never going to grow from that situation, right? We've all been in situations where we were uncomfortable, and how you respond to that is basically how you're going to grow. So they took her out of there, gave her her own room, and now she's basically sheltered from the world. You know, this is like that great quote from Finding Nemo, right? Well, you can't let nothing ever happen to him because nothing will ever happen to him. Look at that, I just quoted Finding Nemo and Team Persevere. Nemo's great. So anyway, okay, getting into the next thing, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, there's a few ways to go through it, and this is where I kind of have some notes because I have some bullet points here. So the first one is, you know, just to start. The first step is always going to be uncomfortable, right? And if you think about back to my example with messaging the cold lead there, or the cold market person, it was terrifying. But if you just start that conversation, it's, you know, then you realize that you're just two human beings talking about something you have in common, all right? And when you do start, if things start to go in the wrong direction, you shouldn't quit, right? If you're not seeing the results, you know, that's okay. So it's a nice analogy to, or it's analogous to working out as well. When I work with women, and this, I have a great example here. My mom was a great example of this. I started working with her because she wanted to lose weight. And those first 3 weeks, this poor woman didn't lose any weight. And I could give her all the excuses, but I did tell her one thing that she understood. And I said, Mom, just stick with this. there's a lot of science going on right here, because when you start to work out, you're stressing the crap out of your body, right? So your body responds with cortisol. Cortisol tells your body, keep all the water in, it retains all this fluid. But once your body gets used to the working out, it realizes it's not as stressed anymore. It will release that water, and you will start to see the weight fall off. This happened with 4 or 5 women on my team. And when everyone, because of course they get frustrated, right? They want to go into this day one or this week one, and I want to lose 3 pounds, 3, 4 pounds. Like, okay, let's pull the reins back. Let's temper expectations. Just realize that it may not happen that quickly for you. And sure enough, every single one had this issue, but it did fall off after a couple of weeks simply because of biology and science. So don't quit, continue doing what you're doing. And of course, push yourself through that moment. Hold on, my computer's freezing. Come on, computer. That's why I need a new computer. Oh, sorry. Okay. So push yourself through those tough moments. We just talked about, finding those people who, can help you through those situations. Find a place, if you have a nice peaceful area, in your house where you could just kind of get back in the zone, that's always great. Embrace the suck. This one's great. I used to think I was so cool. I thought I came up with this quote. I was so wrong, right? This has been around for a long time. Apparently it's in Jarhead, the movie. Apparently it's a military thing. But I was like, this is great. One day I was doing max 30. I'm like, this sucks. This is really, really kicking my ass. And I'm just like, I need to embrace this. This is what's going to make me better. If it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. I'm like, embrace the suck. That's a great one. I'm going to start quoting. I'm putting that quote all over my pictures on Facebook. And I go find out that it's been used for like 20, 30 years, whatever. So I was not as clever as I thought I'd be, but that's fine. So embrace the suck. And I think a great point that I read about it is sometimes you just got to laugh, right? Sometimes the situation is just so dire. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it's this effed up. You just laugh through it. You're going to survive. You're going to be okay. And then be around the like-minded people. This is easy. This is easy for us coaches, because even if there were more people on this call and there are people that I didn't know, I know that I could still, even though I didn't know them, I could go to them and talk any situation about them with regards to Beachbody. It's a piece of cake. I have no issues with this one. I have complete faith in my team and Liz's team. It's not a problem at all. And then recognize your improvements. You're going to learn from this experience that you went through where you were uncomfortable. Recognize what you did to make yourself a little bit better. And then the last point there is rinse and repeat, right? Repetition is how you learn. At work, I'm part of a department that works on basically solving problems all day long. And one of the solutions, or one of the tools that we use, or one of the concepts that we use to make things better, to make quality better, is to do things faster. And it took me a while to figure out, why do I want to do it faster if I want my quality to improve? People always say, slow down, and you figure out what you're doing. The reason the quality gets better when you repeat and you repeat faster is because you get more items through a cycle, right? I can do 10 of these, I can do 20 of these. And since I do 20 of them within maybe a half hour or so, I've seen more examples of it. So now I know what to look for. So repetition, is really key into learning. You could almost replace repeat there with fail. Just like Liz says all the time, failing forward. You're not really failing. You don't really fail in this business until you absolutely quit. You just find 100 different ways not to do it, right? So learn from that. And that's one of my favorite quotes too. I've never failed. I've just found 99 ways not to do it. Was that an Einstein quote? I don't know which quote that was, but it's a great quote, right? And that's perfect. So I think that too, like even when, if I have a coach that doesn't want to coach anymore, but they still want to work out, okay, and they're still talking to other people. You didn't fail. You just found something you didn't like, and you just want to move on to something else. Totally fine with me. So, anyway, to sum up, when I say worthwhile here, every single person who has ever done anything worthwhile or exceptional has encountered difficulties, right? Something like if we look at Jamie, we think Jamie didn't have any problems doing what he did. That's crap. He told me his story. He went through a huge weight gain. He was 60 pounds heavier than he is now. Went through a business failing. He became successful, but he had a hard road to get there. And so, in everything that you see in public that a person is doing, they spent how many years before that in private trying to master that, right? So don't just think because someone just pops up on the scene and they're incredibly successful that they didn't have it hard. That's crap. No one's born a genius or really smart at this particular topic. It takes a lot of hard work and practice. And the last thing here that I want to sum up with is, feel the fear. Really feel it, because when you feel it, do it anyway. So when you feel that fear and you do something and it comes out and you have a positive response or a positive outcome, it feels so good to know that you faced your fear and you just crushed it. And sometimes you're going to face it, you're going to feel it, and it's not going to turn out the way you want it to. And that's okay. You just learned, right? But you really embrace that fear, do the thing anyway. And if you don't fall, you're never going to get any better. So feel that fear, move forward, and just embrace the suck, right? Just embrace it. It's awesome. So that's what I have on being comfortable with being uncomfortable. I hope it was useful. I learned a lot. It was awesome to talk to Jamie. And like I said, there are so many resources out there on how to become better at anything, right? Not specific to a task, but how to improve, how you respond to certain situations, how to build your confidence. And I encourage everybody to use those resources. Especially YouTube is a wonderful one. There's so much free stuff on there, so many inspiring, encouraging messages. I mean, it can just make your day. Start your day with one of those, a quick 5 minutes inspirational message, and you're going to have a great day. It's awesome. So that's what I have, Liz.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see here. Do I have to unshare the screen, or do you unshare it?
Yeah, let me stop sharing if my computer will cooperate here. Here comes the mouse. It's nice and slow. Okay.
There we go. Awesome. All right. Very cool. So let me see here. There we go. All right. Thank you so much. Those were awesome tips. I have like a whole page of notes over here.
Oh,
so yeah, those were some really great tips. Like I was just over here like kind of shaking my head like, yes.
Cool.
And I think that it's so awesome that you talked to Jamie. Like I am so jealous. Like the topic when you said, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, like that was the epitome of being comfortable with doing the uncomfortable, because I have never reached out to a top 10 coach and asked them for a phone call. I know. Now you've inspired me. I'm thinking about reaching out to Melanie Mitro.
That's right. You should.
I'm on like a Melanie Mitro kick right now. So
she's awesome.
She is, man. She's a bab for sure. So awesome. So you guys definitely tune into this, watch it as many times as you need to, jot down the notes. There's a lot of hidden nuggets in there that you can take away and break apart. And honestly, if you just take one tip that Josh gave tonight, and like he said, like competence builds confidence. If you just take one thing out of what he shared and you get really, competent in it, oh my gosh, it will blow your business out of the water. So whatever resonated with you, grab onto it and just learn as much as you can about that specific, topic. So I'm going to pull a Jeff Hill here, like on the National Wake Up Call, where he always ends all of the guest speaker calls with Josh Lambert. So tell me, in what way has Beachbody changed your life?
Boy, my ability to talk to new people. It's when I don't like going out and just meeting random. I'm sometimes a little introverted, right? I just don't want to really talk to you. But now I reach out to more and more people on Facebook. I'm meeting a ton of people, right? I'm making actually good friends. And I have potential clients or potential customer in the future that I think this guy is like the mirror of me in my head. Like he's my personality. This guy's going to be a diamond in the rough. And I'm really hoping that he decides to jump on board with me. So I just love meeting the new people. I mean, it's really great. I never would have met any of you guys, without being in Beachbody. So, and to have a way to channel my positive thoughts and my positive vibes into something has been a real blessing. That's probably what I would go with, is being able to channel the positive thoughts that I have. I've always had it, but I've never had a way to like release it and to share it with everybody. And this is that output of that. So I'm grateful for that opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josh.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. That's all we have for you for the Team Persevere call. I will have the recording up on the team page as soon as possible. So thank you guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
Good night. See you.